Weak people notice other people's mistakes and laugh. Strong people notice other people's mistakes and learn. Weak people talk about other people's problems to feel better. Strong people talk about other people's problems to become better. Weak people gossip about others to build fake connections. Strong people express vulnerability to build real ones. Weak people envy people ahead of them. Strong people study people ahead of them. And the interesting thing is, both people are looking at the same thing, but they're seeing different things. Because no one is a weak or strong person. It's just what you focus on. And that's what I want people to realize. There's a switch. The switch for envy is study. If you're jealous of someone, if you're envious of someone, study them. And I know we've had so many conversations where we've both taught each other so much stuff. You've always been so kind to share so many insights and lessons. I know I've done the same with you. That's what we do. We study each other. And all of a sudden, that envy turns into appreciation, admiration, just complete awe, because you're like, now I know what it takes, right? I remember when I used to see Cristiano Ronaldo, who I'm a huge fan of, and I've been a fan of him ever since he was 17 years old. And so I must have been like 14 or something like that when I started following him. This is 20 years ago now, you're talking about, more than that. And you look at him and you think, oh my God, like, look how he looks, look how he plays, everything else. The moment you start studying his routine, you realize what it actually takes. Someone can sit there and envy and be jealous of his life, which is natural, by the way. And I don't want to make that seem like a bad thing, but you turn jealousy into study. You turn envy into study, and all of a sudden, it's your best friend. Envy can be your best friend if you just replace it for study.
100%.
Yeah.
I love that. And that's exactly what I did. The thing that's interesting is that, you know, the reason why I wanted to highlight that jealousy can be a useful tool.
Yes.
Jealousy for me is very different than envy, because when I would look at you, I would never envy you like you don't deserve that. Mm-hmm. Jealousy for me is this deep stirring, because it's impossible to be jealous of something that's not meant for you.
Yes.
And so I've never been jealous of anybody who drives a Lamborghini. I've never been jealous of anybody that lives in a penthouse apartment.
Yeah.
I've never been, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes.
I don't want those things.
Yes.
But there was something about the way that you took something that energizes you, learning, connection, purpose, and you created a business that was in service to others around the things that energize you. And that's what was, I think, ultimately the thing that was stirring something in me. And that's a super, super useful tool. But the other thing I wanted to validate is that the second I said, I'm going to walk toward this thing, I'm going to figure this out, I spent 2 years studying you, talking to you, and that piece of allowing yourself, and it goes back to what you said about the experiment. Learn, reflect, and part of reflecting is experiment with something. I was a student for 2 years. There's a reason why we came out of the gate and launched 2 episodes a week. It's because I learned from you that if you do want to have a successful show, you have to do at least that many episodes. And so the learning part and the studying others and allowing others to lead the way and to show you and to truly flip envy into learning from somebody, that is worth $100 million in your life, to understand that everybody that is out in the world right now is somebody that you can learn from. It's just unbelievable. And so thank you for sharing that. And, you know, there's another quote that you have that I absolutely love, Jay. We judge others by their actions, but ourselves by our intentions. What does that mean?
This is something that actually my monk teachers used to repeat to us a lot. And it's a reality check that's a bit of a punch in the gut. So we judge ourselves by our intentions, and we judge other people by their actions. So if we feel our intention was good, we feel we're good people. But if someone has a bad action, we feel they're bad people. Whereas what we should be doing is allowing other people to be judged also for their intentions and their actions. So it's a plea, a proposal, a pledge to say, before you judge someone, before you put someone in a box, please learn what their intention was. Because often you'll find that their intention probably wasn't as malicious as you think. It wasn't as manipulative as you think. It wasn't as crazy as you think. It was the same as yours. They too had good intentions. They also got into it with good intentions. But we judge ourselves by our intentions, so we think we're good people. And we judge other people by their actions, and so we think they're bad people. If I made a mistake and you judge me for my action, all of a sudden you've labeled me. But my intention was so pure and so genuine. I'll give you an example of something that happened recently to me that I feel really, really applies to this. And I was doing something with a friend, and we did a podcast together, and I was traveling on the road or whatever, and I didn't post something about it. And my friend messaged me and was just feeling really upset that I hadn't supported them, that I hadn't noticed them, that I hadn't recognized them. And now we're really good friends, so they were able to vocalize it to me.
Right.
But if we weren't, they would have immediately judged and thought that I had some ulterior motive or some agenda. And the truth is, I'm so disconnected from my social media in the sense that I don't post. I'm not there. I'm on the road. I try and stay off my phone for most of the day. And all of a sudden I was thinking, wait a minute, if they judge me for my action, it looks like I don't care about them. It looks like I don't value them. It looks like this isn't important to me. But my intention was, I love you. You're one of my favorite people. I'm here to help you in whatever way possible. And I just think about the amount of friendships we'd save, the amount of relationships we'd save if we just learned to judge people for their intentions, not their actions.
Do you have like a little trick? Because my like emotions and pettiness can just flood me. Like I've never had training as a monk, Jay. So I would imagine like your sort of engine doesn't rev as high as mine, but it is so easy to see friends out together and then immediately judge them for their actions, that they're excluding you, that they must be talking about you, that now they're closer than you are to them, that it means something, it means you did something. And then, of course, you respond to all of that emotion. We are so fast to assume. Is there anything that you do or that you recommend that people do?
Mel, there's this thing, I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called the let them theory.
Jay.
Sorry, I had to. I was waiting for you to, which is really good. There's let them and then let me in it, and it works perfectly, which I genuinely believe. It's amazing. But to answer your question, I'll be honest with you. When it's people that I know, I tell them. I really believe it's important to tell people. I check in with them. I ask them. Because if I know you, if our relationship means I can't ask you the question, then it's a weak relationship. If I ask you the question and we have a great conversation, now our relationship is strengthened by it. We actually got closer. A hard conversation should make you closer to the person. A hard conversation should not make you further away from them.
Say that again, Jay.
If you love someone and they say they love you, a hard conversation should bring you closer together. A hard conversation should not push you away from each other. If you're scared to have a hard conversation with someone you love, that means you're not that close.
Dude, I think those are the hardest people to talk to, though.
Yeah, but that should be the easiest person to talk to because you should be able to have a safe space to raise it. And so if I'm close to someone, if it was me and you, I would call you up. And I actually trust we'd have a great conversation because of it. I know that. I actually believe that if we ever had anything like that, which we haven't, and I would call you. But what I find is if you can't call the person, I would just think about, this is the second part of that statement. My monk teachers would always say, instead of judging people by their actions, judge them by their intentions, and judge yourself by your actions, not your intentions.
Oh.
Think about all the stupid things you've said, you've done, and got wrong. And all of a sudden, you start to recognize, wait a minute, if someone judged me for that, I'd feel pretty bad about it. That doesn't define me. That's not who I am. And all of a sudden, when you have that reflection, it flips the entire statement. Wait a minute, that can't be who I am, and that's not who they are.